Hey, quiet soul. Tired of feeling invisible in a world that screams? This isn't another fake it till you make it pep talk. This is about flipping the script and owning a confidence that's as subtle as a shadow, but twice as powerful. You've been told that confidence looks loud, feels extroverted, and demands attention. But what if I told you that the most powerful kind of confidence doesn't shout, it whispers? That it doesn't flood the room. It changes the room just by entering it. That's dark confidence. And if you're an introvert, it's your hidden superpower. Most people believe being confident means becoming someone else. Someone more talkative, more outgoing. But here's the truth. The most magnetic people aren't the ones who perform. They're the ones who don't have to. And I'll prove it. I've seen introverts go from invisible to irresistible, not by changing who they are, but by finally owning it. By flipping the script on what confidence looks like. In this video, we'll dive into 8 unique strategies that unlock your inner strength, not by speaking louder, but by standing firmer. At first, let's talk about the ripple effect. How one win changes everything. Confidence isn't built, it spills. It's like ink dropped into water. One drop and it spreads everywhere. You don't need to master everything at once. You need one internal win, one bold moment, and suddenly your posture shifts, your energy changes, and you start showing up differently. Ask yourself, what's one area of my life I can take control of? Maybe it's how you dress. Maybe it's speaking your mind once, in one conversation. Maybe it's finally setting that boundary. Don't underestimate how doing one thing in alignment with your real self makes the rest easier. Take one bold step, and let the ripple do the work. Why does this matter? Because the biggest mistake introverts make is thinking they have to be confident in everything, when in reality, confidence is contagious. It spills. One drop of certainty changes your whole presence, but that ripple only begins if you dare to drop it. That's powerful. But if that ripple isn't coming from the real you, the whole thing collapses. That brings us to the next layer. Now let's talk about burn the mask, the freedom of not shrinking. Let's be honest, most people are exhausted, not because they're doing too much, but because they're pretending too hard. Dark confidence isn't about being fearless, it's about being real. When you stop editing yourself to fit in, something wild happens. People either move out of your way or they move closer, but either way, you move freely. Start by noticing where you shrink. Do you smile when you're annoyed? Do you agree just to keep the peace? Instead, give yourself permission to speak from truth, even in small ways. You don't have to be rude, you just have to be clear. Try this. Next time you feel that urge to people please, pause. Ask yourself, what would I say if I wasn't afraid of losing approval? Now say that. When you stop shrinking, something crazy happens. You expand. The world finally sees you, not your performance. That's when the right people start noticing. That's when energy flows instead of drains. And this kind of confidence, it's rooted. It doesn't get shaken. But there's something even more misunderstood, your mind. Because what you do with your internal chaos either becomes your cage or your crown. Now let's discuss the alchemy of chaos, turning intrusive thoughts into power. Let's talk about the thoughts you hide, the random, weird, sometimes dark thoughts that make you think, am I broken? You're not, you're human. And here's the twist. Those intrusive thoughts, when faced instead of feared, become fuel. That's mental alchemy. You turn shadows into strategy. Instead of pushing those thoughts away, interrogate them. Why am I thinking this? What is this thought trying to protect me from? Treat it like a messenger, not a monster. Journal it, speak it, use it. Some of your most powerful insights are buried under the very thoughts you're scared to admit. Dark confidence isn't about perfect thoughts. It's about owning messy ones. Because when your mind no longer scares you, no one else can either. This is where resilience is born. But once you've made peace with your chaos, what do you do with your silence? Because here's the secret. Silence isn't empty. It's charged. Let's talk about the magnetism of mystery, why your silence speaks louder. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. In fact, mystery draws people in more than noise ever could. Ever notice how some people say little, but everyone listens when they speak? That's not accidental. That's presence. And presence isn't built by performance, it's built by peace. When you walk into a room, don't rush to fill space. Observe, breathe, choose your words like a sniper, not a sprinkler. People will lean in. You don't have to reveal everything. In fact, don't. Let others wonder a little. That tension, that's where power lives. Your reserved nature isn't a weakness, it's your edge. When you embrace mystery, you become unforgettable. You start to realize it's not about saying more. It's about saying what matters. But even mystery can become a mask if you're not emotionally rooted. That's why we need to end with the anchor, the unshakable inner foundation. Now let me tell you about the fortress within. Emotional boundaries as a power move. Confidence isn't just how you speak, it's what you allow. If people can push you around emotionally, it doesn't matter how confident you look. Boundaries are the gatekeepers of your peace. They're not walls to keep people out. They're walls to protect what matters. Get clear on your emotional limits. Who drains you? What conversations leave you resentful? You're allowed to say no, not just with words, but with energy. You don't owe anyone access to your mind, your time, or your inner world. Say it with me. Not everyone gets to enter. Because at the end of the day, true confidence isn't loud. It's quiet certainty. When you protect your energy, when you honor your voice, when you walk with mystery and power, you don't need validation. You've got a fortress within. Now let's talk about the power of presence, how showing up quietly changes everything. Confidence isn't just what you say or do. It's how you show up in the moment. There's a subtle power in presence, a magnetic energy that can't be faked or forced. It's about being fully here, fully yourself, even if that means being still or silent. Presence is a quiet anchor in the chaos of noise and distraction. Practice being present in your daily interactions. Put away your phone, breathe deeply, and focus on the person or task in front of you. Instead of rushing to fill space with words, listen deeply. When you do speak, make it intentional. Your words become weighty because you're grounded in the moment. Try it in your next conversation. Slow down, breathe, and notice the shift in energy. Why does presence matter? Because true confidence is felt, not just heard. When you show up fully, you create a space where others feel safe and respected. That silent energy builds trust and influence far more than noise ever could. This is where introverted confidence truly shines. It's quiet power that shifts the entire dynamic without saying a word. Now let's talk about the art of saying no, protecting your energy without guilt. Confidence means knowing your limits and honoring them. Saying no isn't about being difficult, it's about self-respect. Introverts often struggle here because they fear disappointing others or missing out. But every yes you give without alignment chips away at your energy bank, making you less yourself and more drained. Start small. Identify one thing this week you can say no to. A social invite, a project, or an obligation that doesn't serve you. Practice saying it kindly but firmly. You don't owe anyone a long explanation. A simple, "I can't commit right now" is enough. Notice how setting that boundary makes space for what truly matters to you. Saying no is a radical act of confidence. It's a declaration that your time, energy, and peace are valuable. When you protect your energy, you're not closing doors. You're opening the right ones. This clarity strengthens your foundation and lets your authentic self step forward without apology. Okay, now let's talk about the quiet confidence ritual. Daily practices to build your inner fortress. Dark confidence isn't built overnight. It's cultivated through small, consistent habits that deepen your self-awareness and strength. Rituals are powerful because they anchor your mindset and set the tone for how you carry yourself throughout the day. These rituals don't need to be loud or dramatic. They just need to be intentional. Create a simple daily ritual that centers you. It could be 5 minutes of mindful breathing, journaling a daily affirmation, or setting a clear intention before starting your day. The key is consistency. Over time, these small moments accumulate into a fortress of calm and confidence that you carry with you everywhere. Why rituals? Because confidence is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. These quiet practices remind you that your power comes from within, not from external validation or performance. They root you in your truth and prepare you to face the world with steady strength, no matter what comes your way. Let's wrap this up clearly. We've uncovered how one small win can ripple through your entire life. We tore off the mask and stepped into the freedom of being real. We transformed your inner chaos into powerful strength. We embraced silence and mystery as your secret weapons. And we built strong emotional boundaries that protect your peace and power. If you've ever felt drained by trying to be someone you're not, or invisible because you stay quiet, this is your way to break free. Dark confidence isn't about shouting louder. It's about standing firmer in who you are. Now, here's what I want you to do. If this video spoke to you, hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Drop a comment below. What's one step you're going to take to own your dark confidence? Remember, your quiet strength is your greatest power. It's time to own it and live it.